What religion are you guys, and how has religion history changed over the years?
Well, I think I was raised as a Roman Catholic, and to me the religion has changed a lot. I don't think the Protestant religions have changed as much, but having gone through elementary school in West Philadelphia, taught by the Sisters of Mercy, by the way, and they were very strict, and you believed everything they said was gospel, and you had to do this, you had to do this way, and etc. And you got to high school, went to a Catholic boys' high school in Philadelphia, West Philadelphia, and it was taught by a lot of lay teachers there. But as I got more, I went to college. I went to a Catholic college and university, and it seemed to me that I got more pressure and indoctrination in religion in grade school. It got less in high school, and although it was very convenient to practice your religion at college, there wasn't anybody standing over you like Sisters of Mercy with the yardstick ready to whack you if you gave them the wrong answer, you know. But the things, one thing that came up when we were teaching us, you couldn't eat meat on Friday. And you go to hell if you eat meat on Friday. Well, by the time I was in high school, well, they changed that rule, and you could eat meat or whatever you wanted on Friday. So, you know, there was a certain number of things that happened that you were indoctrinated with as a kid that were changed, you thought was gospel. All of a sudden somebody in Rome or whoever said, well, okay, you don't have to do that anymore. So I'll give you one instance. As my parent, I was married at this time, but Ellen and I were together, but my father died. Now, my father was a lifelong Catholic. He was in the parish he was in out there in Springfield they lived there for 30-some years, and he died, and he wanted to be cremated. So all of a sudden, after paying his dues to the church and giving money every Sunday, they wouldn't let them bring his ashes into the church for the Mass of Christian burial, because the Archbishop in Philadelphia said, well, his ruling was that you had to have the body. You could bring the body in and then have it cremated afterwards. So at my father's funeral, everybody's in the church, and my father's ashes are outside sitting in the truck, or in the hearse, wherever you know. So I'm thinking, some years later, I don't know how long did my mother live after that? She was 20 years maybe. She wanted to be cremated. No problem. They brought the ashes in, they had them up in the front of the altar for the Mass. So here, some years later, the rules changed again. Yeah. What I've observed is that, to me, it seems that as Catholics get more educated, they start to ask more questions. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times they're not satisfied with the answers they get. Yep. So that's why they talk about fallen away Catholics, or cafeteria Catholics, they call them sometimes. You know, they're good Christian people, and they keep most of the regulations. And my sister, when my sister got married, I was only in 8th grade, still under the control of the Sisters of Mercy. And she couldn't get married in the church. She had to get married in the rectory. That's where we went to have her wedding, in the rectory. Well, I don't know how many years later it was, but now, even if you're non-Catholic, you're not a Catholic, you can go in and get married in the church now. You know, so there, you know, things change, but I guess they taught that certain things were so dyed in the wool, can't do this, can't do that, then boom. Oh, you don't have to eat meat. You can eat meat on Friday now. Mm-hmm. You know, little things like that. So, you know, a lot of Catholics, and I don't consider myself a real strict Catholic, but Ellen's a better Christian person than I am. But
well, I'm an Episcopalian.
Yeah, she grew up an Episcopalian.
And I married an Episcopal priest the first time,
mm-hmm.
who died at the age of 58. He was much older than I was. and that's with whom I had the 3 children. Faces are plastered around here. One of whom died of cancer at 18. But I think the issue is not about eating meat on Friday, or I think it's one of obedience. It's an issue of obedience. So that if that is what you're taught to do and you obey the laws as you get them, that's what you're judged on, how hard you tried to do what was required. But I have more emphasis on just trying to, what I call my husband, brighten the corner where I am, help the person next door if they need me, and do things for others around the community here that they can't do for themselves. And sometimes I entertain them, like with the piano, and they're all in wheelchairs, and that means so much to them. And so we have a different, my church, I think, has a more, a very different, a little bit different focus on the obedience question.
Yeah,